What's up, I'm Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Enhypen's fourth EP, fourth mini album, Dark Blood. Yes, Enhypen, the quickly rising K-pop male group. They had the 16th most streamed K-pop song on Spotify last year. I think pretty under the radar in that regard. Polaroid Love, in fact, the most streamed song on Spotify from on the K-pop side that wasn't from BTS or a BTS member. So think really quickly for a group that debuted back in 2020 and has the origins from a reality competition series. They've quickly risen, and I guess it shouldn't be too surprising because they're signed to a subsidiary of HYBE, which is just dominating the K-pop space right now with all their hit groups basically. But nonetheless, Dark Blood, their first release of the year, about 10 months ago, we got their third EP. And yeah, I think this is a really strong project. 6 songs, really only 5 songs. That first song is more of a, intro. That first song, Fate, it's kind of has a spoken word introduction, builds up to these strings, has this kind of drum line, this repetitive like chant, but not really much of a song. So 5 songs. However, I think these 5 songs are quite strong. And track 2, the single, has a music video out now, Bite Me, on the shortlist for best K-pop songs of the year thus far. I think without a doubt, Bite Me is really good. I love the song. I mean, starting off, you have this like amazing vocal harmony between the members. It's a really up-tempo song. But then like the pre-chorus, man, this song just has addictive melodies and addictive hook after addictive hook. The oh my god, like chant part is so catchy. And basically, the bass coming in as well. The chorus is fun, but it's almost like the least interesting part about the song, But I think it's really good. The singing is quite strong as well. I think that's an absolute banger for sure. And then following that right up, you have Sacrifice, Eat Me Up. The snare on that sounds so good, and the chorus once again really sticky. But what I think I really like about Enhypen is that the vocal range these guys can show off is really fun, and like this little vocal flourishes they'll throw in on certain songs. It just makes it really quite enjoyable. I think my least favorite of the songs would be Chacon, track 4, which is totally fine. I just don't really love the beat. It's a bit too washed out for me, a bit too like overproduced, I would say. But the singing still sounds pretty good, all the same. The second to last song, Bills, it's a softer song in terms of the singing, in terms of like the sentiment, but still pretty upbeat, which I really did appreciate. And then the last song, track 6, Karma, really caught me by surprise as well, because like out of nowhere you have this like really strong guitar, and this song is almost like a pop punk performance. Like that's the vibe Enhypen is going for with it. The don't give a what part, it just comes across as like very angsty, and like that's just a really, I think, fun vibe to get. You don't get that with much consistency in K-pop. I thought Idol last week on I Feel also was doing some fun stuff with rock production, and I thought Enhypen really nailed it with Karma. So again, for a short project, Dark Blood, having an absolute banger and Bite Me, which is like a layered and interesting banger as well, not just that it hits hard. And then something I think really inspired like Karma, as well as some other decent songs as well, like Sacrifice and Bills. Like it's a pretty solid listen. And I think this is definitely a group to watch. Like if you think about the state of male groups right now, on the fourth gen front, in terms of new groups, it's really only been Enhypen and Treasure that have like really risen up and become like hit groups thus far. And of course Stray Kids, which is they're a little bit older and more seasoned than them. As BTS hiatus continues and the members go off to do their military service, there is a void to be filled by the new faces. And obviously we know HYBE label mates of Enhypen like 17 and Tomorrow Together are certainly out there and competing. So there's no lack of groups, but I think Enhypen is, very quickly making themselves felt as a significant act in the space and quickly rising. Like Polaroid Love being the 16th most streamed song on Spotify from K-pop songs last year. And, if you discount Blackpink and BTS and Twice, it was like IVE and Enhypen are like the next two most streamed songs. Like it's quite impressive that they've gotten to this stage so quickly. So I'm definitely hoping they keep the momentum going. I would love to hear another full length album from them. They only have one Korean full length thus far, but I think Dark Blood is kind of everything you want from like the K-pop mini album. That's kind of the general mode of operation, right? You get a lot of EPs, a lot of mini albums, short, brief listens, but keep that momentum going. That seems to be how the cycles work. And this is, I think, the kind of ideal of what you want from one of these projects, where it's short and sweet, but still has a lot to engage you about, and certainly would entertain all the fans. But I think this is a project that's a great entry point for new fans as well. So let me know, how'd you feel about Enhypen's new EP Dark Blood? And for more K-pop reviews, more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.